Now, superfood to me is all about making great tasting food that just so happens to be good for you. Quick cooking is one thing, but
I want to take it up a notch and bring you a new playbook of recipes that do just that.
I'll show you how to create easy to follow dishes that are perfect for your busy life.
Eating healthy doesn't have to be boring, and there's a world of flavour ready to be discovered.
Sometimes you just have to jump in.
These recipes are designed to work for you, and they're ready in under half an hour, with some great shortcuts that'll make cooking for the week a breeze. So if you're strapped for time,
And if the idea of eating better sounds good, I've got a serious selection of game-changing recipes.
making your food super every day. Coming up, 5 recipes to add to your shopping list. Time-saving dishes that really pack a punch at dinner time.
Anyone could give this a go.
Genghis Khan would have wanted to devour this Mongolian beef stir-fry. Honey and garlic chicken with a 10-ton load of serious sticky flavour. This spiced prawn and Mexican bean stew with a zingy avocado salsa ready in 20 minutes flat.
It's just gonna come together perfectly.
A speedy spaghetti perfect to whip up midweek, and to finish things off, a super sorbet that you're gonna love.
First up, my Mongolian beef. Now, this is jam-packed full of flavours you're gonna recognise from your local takeaway, but it's lighter, it's fresher, and most importantly, it's faster.
Slice the steak and remove most of the fat. Pop it in a bowl, add some corn flour, some black pepper, and some sea salt, and then give it all a good mix through, making sure that the steak gets evenly coated. Get a pan on a high heat and add some oil. Fry the steak until it's browned all over, and then put it on a plate and get the pan back on the heat. Add a little more oil with some diced garlic, roughly chopped spring onions, and grate a good bit of ginger in there too. Keep the veg moving so it doesn't catch in the pan, and when the onions start to soften, get in there with this time-saving ingredient, some pre-chopped stir-fry veg. Add a little water and get things steaming, and then add some chili flakes, brown sugar and soy sauce. Give it all a good toss and then get the brown steak back in the pan with any juices from the plate, along with the stir-fry noodles. Make sure the noodles get coated with all that lovely stir-fry sauce and you are good to go. A super simple one-pan stir-fry with all the flavours. Now that is what I'm talking about.
Honey and garlic chicken, what a combination. The great thing about this recipe is that you have sizzling, you have frying, and it all results in a gorgeous chicken dinner that is perfect for midweek suppers. Let's get cooking. In my books, every good chicken recipe starts with chicken thighs. I'm gonna get a pan on nice and hot. So I'm gonna get oil in our pan. Now this is gonna get quite hot, so use something that has a high smoking point like an Irish rapeseed oil. We've got our chicken thighs looking pretty good. You want skin on, bone in. They're gonna give you great flavor and give you really crispy chicken skin. When you're browning off the chicken like this, important you go heavy on the seasoning. So these are pretty much good to go. I've got my pan nice and smoking. And this is the trick to chicken thighs. It's to get them in there nice and hot. And I think a lot of people have this tendency when it comes to frying meat in general, that they move them in the pan. But here you want to leave them and let them crisp up and go nice and golden. Anytime you see chicken or meat sticking to the bottom of the pan, it tends to be because you're turning them too soon. Leave them rest, give them a moment, and you will get glorious, crispy, golden chicken. Okay, quick wash of the hands, and then it's garlic time.
Now everyone has their own way of peeling garlic, and some work better than others. I like to crush the bulb with my hand, releasing the cloves. The quickest way to get the skin off is to cut the end off the clove, and then using the flat of a large knife, press down until it pops. It ain't pretty, but the skin will come right off and you're good to go.
Now, this is honey and garlic chicken, so we gotta go heavy on the garlic. I've got about 6 cloves here, and I'm just gonna finely slice them What I love about this is that it goes heavy on the garlic. So you've got that honkin' stink of garlic. This is not one for if you've got a date coming over. This is one for really great comfort food. There's nothing like the smell of garlic fries. So let's get this straight in the pan. Sprinkle it over the top of the chicken all the way over. And now get in there with the tongs, and it's time to flip this chicken. Now this is why I love using chicken thighs. Look at that golden crispy skin, and then those lovely bits of garlic that are just kind of going jammy in alongside it. This is looking absolutely gorgeous. It's time for the sauce.
Start off with 3 tablespoons of reduced salt soy sauce for that salty umami flavour. 3 tablespoons of white wine vinegar for sharpness. And then 3 tablespoons of oozy honey to balance out the flavour and make it rich, sweet and sticky.
That is it. 3 ingredients: soy sauce, a little bit of vinegar, and a touch of honey. 3 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, and 3 tablespoons. Super simple to remember. And now that we've got our sauce together, it's time for our veggies. Broccoli, spring onions, and some sugar snap peas. Now, all of these I've chosen specifically because they cook out quite quickly. With your broccoli, take a sharp knife and just cut around the florets. And this is where the superfood in minutes moment happens with this recipe, because we've all these gorgeous, nutritious veggies that get plonked straight in amongst that sauce. We've got the sugar snap peas. I love these peas because they're going to cook really quickly, but they still add a bit of crunch and green to this dish. Now have a look at this. This is where you take your spring onions to the next level. We're going to slice them on the diagonal just to give them a little bit more interest in the pan. So don't slice them too thinly. You want a bit of spring onion bite as part of this dish. Now I'm using all the spring onion here, whites and green parts, no waste, and I've just given them a quick wash before I'm slicing them up, just to make sure there's no grit. Right, a lot of spring onions here. They all go straight in. And grab up the tongs, and it's time to kind of nuzzle those veggies in around the chicken. Make sure that they get coated in a little bit of that sauce. If your sauce is a little bit dry looking at this point, grab up a bowl, take some water, and this is where you have to have a bit of confidence in the kitchen. Even if it doesn't follow exactly as it is in the recipe, improvise a little bit. A little touch of water will just bring that sauce back to life. Just look at those gorgeous greens. And remember, this is all about balance. We've got that crispy umami bite in the chicken, but we also have that great nutrition in the greens that we've added here. Now, on with the lid. This touch of steam that's going on in here is going to help cook off our chicken. It needs no more than about 3 to 5 minutes, just until those veggies are nice and tender.
Let it cook for just a few minutes, and then it's time for the final flourishes. Look at that beautiful steaming one-pot chicken. To garnish, add a generous sprinkle of sesame seeds, and for a hit of fragrance and freshness, tear in a handful of coriander. Now it's time to taste.
I mean, this is the magic of this dish. Tang of vinegar, saltiness from that soy sauce, but the honey, that sweetness wrapped around it, and then you really, really tender chicken. This is why it's a magic one-pan dinner. It's going to save you time in the kitchen and give you a really honkin'ly good dinner. You can serve it straight to the table just like that, and everyone can dig in. Happy days.
Sticky, easy to remember, and seriously delicious.
Now here is a flippin' deadly hack that's going to make your life a little bit easier in the kitchen. This is what I like to call double duty dinners.
Basically, it means using the same ingredients and taking them to a certain point and then splitting them in two for 2 separate dishes. So take a tray of roasted veggies, bung them in the oven and split them in 2. Then you've got the perfect base for a speedy soup, and later on in the week you can use the rest in a frittata.
All this cuts down on cook time, prep time, and ultimately leaves you with more time. Next up, a Kale cacio pepe. This is 5 ingredients to silky, peppery pasta success. If you're a fan of black pepper, you're gonna love this one.
Get the kale chopped, removing the thicker stalks. Grate the pecorino cheese in advance so that when the time comes, you're ready to go. Salt a pot of boiling water and then get in there with the spaghetti. At the same time, put the butter in a high-sided pan with the black pepper. Once it's melted and combined, pour it into a bowl. Add the grated pecorino, and then for the magic sauce, slowly add some of the water from the boiling pasta. Now this is going to add some essential starchy goodness. Give it a good stir until all that cheese has melted. When the pasta is just tender, add the kale to the pot and give it another 3 or 4 minutes before draining. Now for the main event, add the pasta and kale to the cheese and pepper sauce and give it a really good mix through until the pasta is glossy and coated all over. Look at that seriously cheesy, cracking pasta that will have you begging for more kale. And I bet you never thought you'd say that. Coming up, 2 recipes that are quick to cook and super easy to make.
This is one to try this week.
Spicy prawns, and I attempt a 5-minute meal challenge.
Oh, JD Mac, we're throwing a lime in the food processor.
This is my superfood in minutes, perfect for food lovers and those of you who want delicious meals without the fuss.
Now, this is the sort of recipe I get really excited about. It's the sort of recipe that you can pull together in about 15 minutes. You can have people in the kitchen alongside you as you cook, and you get left with zing, you get left with spice, and sweet, tender prawns. Now, this is one I want you to try this week because of its simplicity. We're going to start off with some garlic cloves. So I've got about 3 garlic cloves going in here. With the garlic, just a nice fine slice. Now, with recipes like this, it is simple, but it is all about big flavour. And the flavour we're getting in this gorgeous recipe comes from my secret ingredient and a great superfood in minutes ingredient, which is some chipotle paste, which you can get in most supermarkets now. And it is this smoky, heady, gorgeous, really deep flavoured paste that is going to make all the difference to a stew like this. And you can see just the darkness of it. That is going to inject serious flavour into this. So this gets fried off with a little bit of garlic with some oil in a nice hot pan.
When the garlic and paste have fused and are really fragrant, pop in a can of chopped tomatoes and a can of mixed beans. Season with sea salt and black pepper and give it all a good mix through.
This is the magic of this recipe. I mean, it's all this action in the pan. It's taken just a few minutes, and you have this seriously smoky, sweet tomato stew. This needs to cook for about 10 minutes or so, just until you get a nice thickened sauce. And while it's cooking away, let's crack on with a lovely avocado salsa. 2 avocados, 1 lime, and a little bit of red onion will make the most gorgeous, fresh, flavoured salsa that's going to be really great alongside this. So let's get slicing. This isn't guacamole, it's not exactly salsa, it's somewhere in the middle. It's a bit of a fresh maker for this kind of rich, dark, smoky stew. And all I want to do is slice this into nice, thick chunks so that you get really fresh bites alongside that richness you're going to have in the stew. And remember, we're going to add prawns in here, so there's lovely sweetness, there's all these flavours going on together. It just works beautifully. Now, as I'm slicing away, keep an eye on that stew because if it does catch a little bit, you want to add a touch more water, but it should reduce down to this thick and unctuous stew. So, with our avocados, just rock through them. Really nice, thick chunks of that gorgeous green. Straight into a bowl. And I have to say, I'm slightly impressed by the fact that this is a gorgeously green avocado. They're always quite rare to get your hands on, but if you do, you get, oh my God, there's a second one. I've never had 2 perfect avocados like this. Take out that stone and you can see just how gorgeously green that is. This rarely happens, so I'm going to celebrate the fact that we have this really beautiful green, the really nice red. It's just going to come together perfectly. Straight into our bowl, and to this, we want to add in a good squeeze of lime juice. It's going to give you zinginess. It's going to give you a little tang. It also helps to prevent your avocado from going brown. So do make sure you add this. If you're preparing your avocados, always squeeze it with a little bit of acidity. That could be lemon juice, or it could be a little bit of vinegar, but lime juice and avocados, they are flavor friends. And in my books, they got to go together. Now, lime juice and avocados would be fine as they are, but we want to add a little bit of an onion bite. So I've got one red onion, just going to slice it in half and then finely chop it.
Add the chopped onion to the avocado, sprinkle with a bit of sea salt and black pepper, and then mix in some olive oil and a couple of sprigs of coriander.
I mean, that is just super fresh. And the brilliant thing about having all that freshness going on in here and all that flavor and the zing, it's going to contrast so beautifully with the smokiness and the richness of that tomato sauce, which at this point is looking quite good. I've added a touch more water just as we were going, and it's now ready for our prawns. Now, the beauty of using shellfish like this is that it cooks off really, really quickly. This is going to take 2 or 3 minutes. They're just going to pop in, and the heat of that sauce is going to cook them through. And all we're going to do is shuffle these prawns in and around that sauce and get them absorbing all those great Mexican flavors. People always get nervous when it comes to cooking meat, but shellfish is one of the easiest things you can cook because you can literally see them cooking in front of your eyes. It takes 2 or 3 minutes. They'll turn from opaque into this beautiful, tender pink, and you're in business. Right, these are cooked, off with the heat, and now it's time to serve up. So grab up some of that beautiful stew. You've got all the gorgeous prawns in there. And now it's time for the fresh maker. Take up that salsa and just place a nice big dollop. Little fresh garnish of some coriander, just over the top. Pinch of salt, and while we have it, a little glug of oil. It's taste test time. I'm gonna give it a little squeeze of lime just over the top. And while it's still hot, grab up some of those prawns. You saw how simple that is. Anyone could give this a go. Few store-cupboard saviors, those tins of tomatoes, the chipotle paste, and those sweet prawns and fresh, acidic bite from that gorgeous avocado salsa. This is one to try this week. Give it a go.
Look at those colours. Just pop it on the table and let the food do the talking. And just like that, 4 super recipes to make this week. A winner of a chicken dinner, a great midweek beef recipe, your pasta quick fix, and some spicy prawns.
Even though it's Superfood in Minutes, I could not leave you without a 5-minute meal challenge. And this isn't technically a meal, but it is a superfood dessert packed with lots of flavor. I have a big bag of frozen mango and I'm going to turn it into something absolutely delicious. We've got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get cooking. Right, first job is to get our frozen mango into a food processor. To this, we are going to add a little bit of some lime zest, just straight in there for a little bit of exotic fragrance. And to this, we want to add a little bit of lime juice as well, but I'm conscious of the time, so we need to get, oh, JD Mac, we don't want a lime in the food processor. Just a little slice and a squeeze of the lime is what we're after. So little blitz of lime juice in here will just add to that gorgeous sweetness and that little bit of acidity and punch that we're looking for in this gorgeous sorbet. While this is going to be processing up, we want a little bit of toasted coconut flakes. This goes straight into the pan and this will toast off while we make our sorbet. In with our mango with a little bit of banana. If you have them frozen, all the better. It'll give you a lovely consistency. But if you have some knocking around the kitchen, this is the perfect time to get them in and blitzed up. This is a great one for kids. They love digging into the sweetness of this. On with the blitzer. And it takes a minute or two, but we're just going to blitz away with a food processor that needs to be held down. We're going to blitz away until this changes consistency and you get a really gorgeous and smooth sorbet. So I'm going to hold this down while also giving this a quick little toss and making sure we get nice and toasted coconut. Okay, I think this is in good position now. Have a look at this. What we're looking for is nice little char marks on this coconut so that it gets really nice and toasted and full of flavor. got some lime juice on the side, and that's pretty much it. You have a consistency that's coming together, but I would advise you get a spatula and just press it down until you get a nice, even and smooth mix. I'm very worried that we only have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left, but we're probably in a good place. This will come together quite quickly. I would make this on demand because it is the kind of thing that only works really well when you make it fresh. So do this just before you're ready to serve. Keep that coconut on the move. Just like nuts, it's going to like toast up very quickly and can burn quite easily, so keep your eye on it. And we're in a good place right now. I just want to make sure that this is getting really, really nice and smooth, which is my only worry about this 3-minute challenge. But keep on going and it will get there. So keep the faith, it's getting there. You can do this with banana if you like, just frozen banana, and you get this gorgeous peanut butter banana frozen ice cream if you add a dollop of peanut butter, and it just comes together quite beautifully. But this is very simple to make, full of sweetness, and I love the fact that you can use just frozen bananas or frozen mango straight from the freezer. Okay, this is looking pretty good. It's starting to ball up. You can see the consistency. Come in and have a look at this, because this is where it's starting to turn into something a little bit more interesting, a little bit more exciting, and come back out, because this is exactly what you need to do. Keep your eye on that coconut, because you can see it's literally toasting up quite beautifully at this point. Going to turn off the pan. You can see there's a little bit of smoke going on there. And right at this moment, with 2 minutes to go, we're in a good place. I'm going to give it a second more, just until that last little mango chunk goes all the way through, but it's pretty much good to go. Going to take up a little glass to serve this out. Let's grab up an ice cream scoop to go. And look at this. I mean, it is amazing how velvety that beautiful frozen mango goes. Just look at this. You get gorgeous sorbet texture, which can be spooned straight into a glass. Nice little serving glass is perfect for this. And the last little finishing touch to this very simple 5-minute meal is some of those gorgeous toasted coconut flakes just over the top. And if you wanted to go in with an extra squeeze of lime juice, you could. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's totally simple, and I've done it with 1 minute and 20 seconds to spare. Time to taste it. Oh, that is just divine. 2 to 3 ingredients. The toasted coconut makes it. Guys, a superfood in minutes dessert that is good to go. Try it, you're gonna enjoy it.
Next week, we have another 5 fabulous recipes bringing bigger flavours to your mealtimes.
This is the food I really get excited about.
A 1-pan lasagna, harissa lamb and feta bowl,
Simple ingredients, brought to the next level.
some Thai-inspired meatballs, and another speedy sweet treat.
So let's get cooking.